Hashtag blame Wiz.
Right. We had a Whiskey Bomb Network kind of startup tonight. Normally we're pretty on time tonight. We got a little bit of a late start, but that's all good. We wanted to get Martin in here. He's going to be sitting down talking with us tonight, and we wanted to get that connection solid, everything going well, and we have that now. So we're back again, guys. No Remorse Show. You guys know the deal. Anybody sitting out that watches us obviously knows what this is all about and how we go about it. There's no set structure, really. We kind of just bounce through the opener and talk about our news, and then we get right to the guests. So we're going to do more of the same this week. Other than we forgot, I think, last week to mention that we picked up F&A for
we mentioned
affiliates.
It.
You mentioned it, yep.
Yeah.
I did, okay.
Yep.
So they ran their first races last week, which we're doing weekly with them. They're doing a $10 fourth prize on their races for the Snake Sanctuary Sundays. So pop over there, get yourself Forge Coin by watching those races, get yourself over to the channels and logged in and punching in all the requirements to get yourself in those, and another way to earn 10 more Forge Coin, guys. So linking up with
Exotics won that first time.
Yep, Double L over there, Big Larry, got $10 in his pocket. What's he going to use it for? Who knows? But maybe he comes out and gets a trivia question. So build up the pot. But
heck yeah.
Not a ton of other news otherwise, guys. I did notice that I want to congratulate. Well, congratulate's a weird word, but I want to say big step up, I think, on the Balls and Things show right before us. We were catching it as we were running around the house getting things ready to do our own show, but looks like they switched over to EV Mux as well. So all you StreamYard heads out there, watch their show too. It did look, to me, again, I might be biased, but it looked to me like the picture was much more crisp. Everything was running smooth. They got to learn that, right? I mean, there's little differences, little subtle nuances and stuff, but they were having fun with it, laughing with all the buttons and the different ways things work. But I think they're going to enjoy that. I think that's a good move for them. So look for that on their shows coming up, guys. They're probably going to switch maybe a show at a time or something over to that until they really get the hang of that ins and outs. But it looked great, guys. So kudos to you. Good job jumping over. Sorry, StreamYard guys. I don't mean to offend you, but I'm still going to use EV Mux. I really like it. So not a ton else in news, guys. We've only got like a day and a half to get through what we always talk about every week up to this point. July 4th, I think, is the actual deadline. But deeds, not words, guys. We're always going to mention it, and as long as something like this is going, when a campaign is there for, wounded vets and honestly anybody in first responders too, I think this covers a pretty wide berth of people that actually serve the public. So if you can, jump over there. Fat Man Nation, get yourself a shirt. Donate cash, whatever it is, it goes directly to those guys and getting them back out into what they enjoy, out into the woods, out into camping, fishing, hunting, those kind of activities at Camp Freedom. So super important, and we are running out of time on that, guys. Be a verified badass. Get a shirt and sport it around, right?
Hey, that's my line.
Yeah, when's the end? When's the
July
deadline?
4th, I think, is the absolute end. So you still got a day or so, but don't delay. Just go get them now. Don't push it right to the end because I don't know when that cutoff is exactly. And speaking of shirts, haven't worn this guy's shirt, but he welcomes us every morning with a good morning message. So, Sammy, shout out to you, man. Haven't worn Bull Python in a while, but the pink is in effect.
I almost wore that one, Jay.
Thanks to the RWO crew. Yeah, it's working good with the green screen again, right?
Yeah, right.
It is.
I have Bosa in this badass shirt. I love it.
That is a cool shirt, man.
Yeah.
That's very cool, yeah. So, yeah, shout out to all those guys and to Tyson over at Black Lagoon for putting out that logo and the RWO crossover stuff. So, appreciate Tyson a ton, man. It's cool, super cool dude. That's about it. We got to say hi to people, and then we got to run some ads, and we'll get right to Martin. I'm anxious to talk to him. So, nice. Ken, good to see you, sir. Appreciate you coming out. Last night's show was really good, man. Did a good job with Justin up there as a co-host. Corey, Dustin, good to see you guys in here. Always good to see them. K&D's a fun pair, man. We had a blast with those guys.
Yeah.
Tim, he's here every week. He's going to keep coming in every week. I got a feeling he's going to come and see who we got on the show. But appreciate you. Thanks, Dad. Brave Adventures. He's probably got a smoothie halfway down right now. He's going to detail that later in the comments. We'll be sure and bring that up. But Connie, good to see you too. Thanks for coming out. Mike Duval. Good
Mike
to see Mike in here. Yeah, he's in here every week, man. Good supporter.
Yes.
Appreciate Mike 100%. We got James B. He's got a brand new girl over there from us. Hopefully she's doing well and adjusting. Awesome people over there, man. Him and his wife in the cookie shop, the bakery, I guess is the more appropriate term. But yeah, super nice people. Enjoy them. Got Jen, TJ Hutch. Jen, I got to apologize. While we got you on here, we have not reached out and talked at all, but we need to hook up in Discord and get plans figured out. This was like way after the fact. I get that. But we'll get with you and we'll get that squared away. So
Dick Mountain.
Mark my words.
Yep.
Dick Mountain talk. Hey, we got Spring Creek Serpents in here. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming out. I believe South Park is the term for him.
Yeah.
We got Kike in here. He's doing all. So he's probably got 4 channels going right now because I spotted him over on the Whiskey Bomb Network too. So he hits them all, man. Kike is a great supporter. Appreciate him. We got Big Mike. Ramery's Royals, Mommy and Me Geckos. That's a nice family affair over there, man. They've got a lot of really nice stuff coming too. So keep an eye out for those guys and watch the unboxings. They're constantly doing good videos too. So Santos. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you coming out. And Supernatural.
What?
He's hyped too to talk to Martin. He said put Supernatural in his message there.
Yeah.
And we got people saying hi, right?
Hopefully we got some questions from the chat tonight for Martin.
Yeah,
right? I'm going to be sorting, and Jay's going to do a lot of the interviewing. Tyson, good to see you, sir. He was on with us last week. If you didn't see that one, it was a great show. Go back and give it a watch. Tyson's a super nice guy, man. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Had a blast with him, so. We got Will, Python Portal. He does 3D printing, guys, and he's actually doing us a bit of a favor on a small project that we need some particular parts for. So don't be afraid to reach out to him and use your Forge coin with him, too. He's an affiliate, guys. So
We're good.
All set?
Yeah.
That only leaves us one thing, Jay, and then we roll commercials. You know the deal. Car salesman time.
Oh, yeah. Forge coin weighing you down? It's a common problem amongst all the best folks in the industry. What you may not know is that there's a simple solution. That's right. Chris over at B&S Reptilia will help loosen your load. He's happy to take all that Forge coin off your hands. Chris carries Coco2go and The Chipper, 2 of the highest quality reptile bedding products on the market. And it doesn't stop there. Chris also keeps a variety of animals. So if you're in the market for colubrids, ball pythons, blood pythons, or boas, make sure you reach out to Chris at B&S Reptilia and show him your Forge coin.
Show him your Forge coin. Dude, that's epic. You've got that so down.
It's awesome.
Don't even know.
Makes me smile every week.
We are on record time here, guys. We're under 10 minutes, and we're already rolling commercials. Guys, pay attention to the commercials if you want. If you got to run, do something real quick and not miss Martin, do that. It's going to be about 2 minutes, and we'll be right back with him, guys. Appreciate it. We are back. Thank you guys for sitting through that. Charlie, appreciate you. One of the first guys to jump in there. Dan, good to see you. Thanks for coming out tonight, man. And we also had Brother Vance from Blue Zombie Morphs. Head over to the Thunderdome, guys, Saturday. It is, 4 o'clock Central, so that puts it 2 o'clock his time on the Pacific Coast out there. So appreciate you guys. And yes, use Charlie for your shed testing. But let's not forget, we've got some other sponsors up here, guys, that we don't have things put together for. We've got Vinnie at Bone Daddy, Laser Engraving, Monarch Project. He's doing a lot of actually really nice projects this year. He's got some great eggs hatching. So reach out to Vinnie over there. You got Greg and TJ at Rip and Reptiles. Also stepped up and said, hey, we're going to sponsor the show. Appreciate them. They're family to us. And same with Mark Middlestead over at Rat Bastard Royals out in the Pacific Northwest, man.
Nice guy.
Constantly working in the community with the RWO crew over there. He's super busy. And again, really building his collection and narrowing down to some really nice projects. So appreciate all those guys. Out of this world, Morphs, good to see you. First time stopping in, but don't hesitate to come back, man. We appreciate everybody that takes the time to spend their time with us. So that being said, Jamie, I know you're going to have some questions for Martin in the hot seat, but probably bring you out after, too, to talk geckos a little bit with him.
Sure. Yeah.
You got the questions from the audience. Guys, if you have questions out there, shoot them over. It helps us a ton. It gets the stuff you want answered, too. So Jamie will be sorting those and putting a trivia question together for the end of the show. So without further ado, I know that's an overused phrase, but Jamie,
Bye.
good luck back there. Have fun filtering all the comments, and
Yes.
we'll get Martin out here. I think he's all set. So,
Martin,
Hey,
how
Martin,
you doing?
doing good.
Yeah, we got everything straightened out. It was a little rough start for us tonight, but
Yep.
you look good, sound good. Got your buddy on your shoulder.
My
Male?
female, proven breeder, super giant, bleeding snow, radar, female. So
very, very nice girl, and so chill. Jamie and, well, we were all kind of laughing that she wants one that'll sit like that, just sit on your shoulder and not jump and, kind of run off and do their thing. But that's not super common unless you spent a lot of time,
Yeah.
So
I try. That's one thing I try to do with all my reptiles, snakes, like snakes, geckos, all species. I try to work with all of them. Yes, super giant.
Yeah, she's big, man.
she's a big
really
girl.
big. She's produced some really nice radar stuff for me. And then she also does like a little chirping thing too. And a lot
Yeah,
of
she's got a
people- yeah, it's freaking
little croak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, before we get too much into the geckos, give us just a brief history, like your elevator pitch. How did you get started? How long have you been doing it? What do you got for animals? That kind of deal.
Okay. So I've started with reptiles since I was 8 years old. I've been probably for reptiles for about 20 years. So yeah, it's been a journey. Had an old business before and sold it back in 2017, and then revamped up and continued doing everything. Restarted with a new business, which Supernatural Reptiles is my brand, is my name, and I got out of the hobby to go serve my country. So that's another thing. I'm a United States Marine Corps vet. Served my country and everything like that, and
It's awesome. Thanks for your service.
Yeah, appreciate your service, sir.
Appreciate it. And then when I got out of service, I got back into the industry and started full plunge into it. And that's one thing, like, I don't know, a lot of people don't do it and do what they love doing. And in my mindset, as long as you love doing something you really like doing, stick to it. There will be obstacles starting back up, but nothing's not easy.
Yep, 100%
Right.
agree.
Agree. Let me ask something that I was curious about, just right out of the gate, since we're talking about you starting back up with Supernatural. How did you settle on that name? Like, was there something behind that, or it just kind of sounded nice to you?
Because, like, for Supernatural, I want, like, to me, it just gave a mindset. So my dad, who is no longer with me, he passed away, I think, it was now Saturday. Me and him talked a little bit about it. My wife, who's also a part of Supernatural Reptiles, she does more of the crusted gecko stuff a little bit, and then does like the mammals and like feeders stuff. But he was like, "Hey, what are you gonna do? What are you thinking? Aren't they kind of a little bit on the weird, freaky side and stuff like that?" And I'm like, "No." I said they're good. I said they're good. They're, I don't know, something just about it. And I was like, well, Supernatural Reptiles, like, it's like something that just boom right in your face. Like when you think about it, just hits you right in the face. I don't know. That's kind of where I went with it, because you always see something unique, something that's out of this world sometimes in the industry. So
It's a great name. Yeah, I was just
It
curious
is,
if
yeah.
that came from some other background, like you were a ghost hunter or
No.
something like that.
Right. I don't know. It's just something part of everything. So
Yeah,
And you just
it's a great
updated your
name.
logo too, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Got
looks
rid of
good.
the
I
old
like it.
one and then revamped to a new one.
Yeah, I like the new one. The old one was good too, but the new one's I like
Yeah.
it a lot. Looks good.
It looks fantastic, man. So yeah, that was just my quick one out of the way since we just introduced, hey, you restarted this as Supernatural, and I figured there was something behind that. So
How old does the females have to be before they can breathe or breed?
Breed, I think. Yeah.
yep.
But usually, honestly, like some reptile breeders breed them at honestly 10 months old. Honestly, I recommend for all my females being at 55, 60 grams for breeding, and then like for sorry, it's really hot in here. It's 80 degrees in here, and no, like it kind of depends too with the female, because every female in genetics too for any animal in general, it goes off the parents and the genes and the lines. If you think about it, and like really depends to the T of who the mom and dad are, and honestly, if some females can get fat quick, some females can't get fat quick, and I always
Right.
try to bulk up all my animals, gut load all the feeders before I feed them, and then usually it seems to help a little bit. And 55, 60 grams is what I like to breed all my females at for
Okay.
electric goes. So
So more off of weight than age, really. I mean,
yeah,
if you're getting the 55, 60 grams, they're probably ready.
I know some people would say that's very controversial, like no, but like for guys who want to produce pop babies out for leopard geckos, pop them out. They
Mhm.
try. Some guys I know will breed females at 9 months old, as long as they're 50 grams.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
I'm like, that's a little sketchy. I'd rather be a year. And if she's not a year old yet, I'd rather say she's like 11 months and like 6 days or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just close to a year mark, then I will, as long as she's above 50 grams.
Okay.
Gotcha. So that was going to be my question. Like, so say they hit, that 50-gram mark at 8 months. Are you going to wait till you get closer to that 11 months, 12
Yeah.
months,
Yep.
regardless of weight?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
also goes with every female's different too. Like I was saying, some females will breed at a younger age, some females won't. It's just I believe every gecko, every reptile in like anybody's collection, they all have a certain personality and a certain way how they do things. People don't think
Absolutely.
that way, but you got to also get in the reptile's mind too.
A little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, they're going to give you signs too, right?
Yep.
So what do you look for in a female to say, hey, she's ready? Do they give you ovulation signs? Do they give you,
For ovulation, there will be like a pink little dot, and then there's false ovulation where it will kind of look like it. I think I might, hold on. I think I might have hold on. Wait, let me see. She's ovulating.
actually, I'll switch scenes so we can blow you up if you're going to show that stuff. So
I'm gonna see if I think my black knight so I grabbed a couple black knights out, females, because I was gonna show you guys. Throw her thing. I'll always try to hand sanitize myself every time I'm touching a gecko, because you never know. because crypto is a very dangerous thing, especially in this hobby. And there's was a controversial like where they're saying that crypto can actually transfer to ball pythons from like other species. I don't know if you heard that too much.
Yep.
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 And there isn't no cure really to it of what really kills it, and nobody hasn't really focused on that.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's
see.
kind of
Yeah,
they just get over it or they don't. So
Yeah.
and
And
usually they don't.
no. Come on.
No, they don't do well.
This is one of the really dark black knights we have. Females. She's
Wow,
on
that
the
is
darker
wow.
side.
Yeah.
That is super dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think she is. Ooh, hold on, mamas. She is ovulating. I don't know if you guys. Hold on. Ooh, trying to.
Is she fighting?
Yeah, because this girl's a little bit on the skittish side. Try to. Trying to see if you guys can. Hold on, where's my camera? I don't know if you guys can really see because this camera.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see
Pink.
the couple little pink dots there.
Pink,
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me try. It's kind of hard to see.
Almost circular white with some pink kind of heat in it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so there's two pink spots on their belly, and a lot of people assume that there's their ovulation, and then also if you look too where the blue under a female, there's blue. If you ever
Mhm.
check with a female, they
Mhm.
that shows signs of inflammation too a little bit. So
Okay.
if they get bred too much, and some females I let them rest for a season, and some females I breed. You know what I mean? Because you can't just
Yeah.
breed every animal because you're not going to be able to stay healthy if you do that all the time.
Yeah. That's cool though. You could make it out for sure. I could see a couple spots on her. It looked like.
Yeah, it's. I think I had because all my females are like all bred. All majority of them are like all you know what I mean gravid and stuff.
Mhm.
So, and then some females like I do have one that she goes in ovulation and she doesn't, and then you have to catch her right. And all my stuff set for 91 on the Herbstat 6 for my hot spot because it does in here stay at 80 degrees temp in this room.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
some guys believe in the ambient temperature for raising all their geckos, and some people do, you know what I mean, belly heat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And same thing for snakes too. There's people in the Philippines that do it a lot more different than in the United States here. So over there it's so freaking hot, so they just keep an AC and try to keep it at like a certain temp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They're probably not using any kind of heat over there. I wouldn't think, or at
I
least
don't
not
think
through
so
most
either.
of the year.
I would not.
No.
I don't even think how people down in like Georgia or North Carolina do that. I'm like how can you even handle that heat?
Yeah.
Right.
Freaking
so
29
let's-
Palms was hot. 29 Palms 2.9 and freaking camp over there it was freaking hot.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Got to get you down to Daytona.
Please no.
Get the
I'm
enjoy
already
some of
starving.
that heat. Yeah. So we
Go
talked
ahead, Jay.
before. Sorry, John. We talked kind of before the show here about some of the racks and things like that, and the numbers. I was a little bit shocked at. So, not rack numbers, but as far as what you have for animals, and then what you have currently breeding. Like, what are you expecting over the next few months?
Right now, probably because my breeding season got messed up from my move in February. So a lot of my stuff ended up just breeding now. And so I won't be hatching stuff till like November. Like a couple babies here and there, but I'm looking at for leopard geckos roughly around maybe 400 babies. I'm cutting down from 1,000 to 400 babies. So and because it's to manage, because working with crested geckos, ball pythons, viper gecko stuff, and then trying to think what's that one top of my head. I can't. I wrote it down because freaking when it gets hot, it's hard to think.
Somebody get this guy a fan.
I know because I have a whole air
That's-
purifier thing in here too.
Yeah, that's why I never do the podcast out of the snake room because I wouldn't make it, man.
Yeah,
Too,
I was gonna do it in the basement, but I was like, it was too. It's a little bit cold on the side, so yeah. So like for the snakes too, for like corns and milk snakes too, I'm probably gonna be maybe like I said for I think I was telling you John a little bit for all the others for all snake species in general, probably at 150 babies, and then only keep like 3 4 holdbacks and then sell the rest. That's kind of how I look at it for any of the animals. Like keep no more than 10 a year for each species for holdbacks. So some guys hold like 20 30 females, but like what's you know what I mean? Why
Only
would
to
I-
a specific number, or
yeah.
you just get so overwhelmed,
Yep.
right? I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
And my goal is working with 18 different species of reptiles. And
Oh, you've got quite a few. You said corn snakes, milk snakes. You got
Yep.
leopard geckos, obviously, ball pythons, and
Yep.
wasn't there a fifth?
vipers,
Vipers. That's right.
viper geckos.
I don't know
Okay.
anything about viper geckos. I don't know if you do,
They're-
John.
they're-
But
They're
No.
they're a little unique little gecko. They're honestly not really big in the hobby as like some people are. I want to get into like I'm trying to expand bigger and bigger, and
Yeah.
they're I don't know they're a small little gecko. I didn't bring them because they're fast. They're like vroom, vroom, vroom.
yeah,
But they're honestly like I don't know they're small. They're
Kind of like a little cave gecko, right? Similar.
kind of, but like not a lot of. If you look on Morph Market, not a lot of people have viper geckos on there for sale. So
I think, now I could be wrong, but I think Jeff over at GTL does vipers
Yeah.
also.
yeah, they're
Could be
freaking-
wrong.
They kind of remind me of kind of like a little skink or a barfly agama.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, is it agama? Yeah, because
Yep.
I
Little
worked.
tiny guy.
I used to back in the day. Used to breed barfly agamas. I think that's how you say it. I don't know if that's exactly
Yep.
how you say it.
I mean, it sounds right to me. I don't
Yeah.
know the technicality of it, but
I
yeah.
think they're from Australia, if I can think on top of my head. And you can only get them here, imported, unless there's some captive breeders too. Those
Sure.
are some cool
They're-
little guys if you want to ever get in something more exotic for lizards and stuff like that.
Nothing super fast. Because
No,
we're
that's
old, man.
exactly. That thing would be
We're
gone.
too
Be like,
slow.
well, see you.
I used to breed. I used to like really have beardeds too, and used to do a lot of leatherback, translucent stuff, and did that for about 6 7 years, and then kind of did a little bit of that, and I liked all the citrus translucent stuff to the was it German Giants because how big they are, but I don't know. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot throughout all the all the years of knowledge and stuff, and then you have to remember everything what everything on each animal is set to and stuff like that, and like black throat monitors is one of my favorite freaking animals for big lizards. Black
They're
throats.
very cool. Way outside the scope of anything we want to take on.
Yeah.
But I love seeing them. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
amazing.
It's like little Komodo dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Any plans or thoughts on going to anything like that on the lizard side? Any bigger lizards? Or?
Yeah, so when I open my warehouse, so I'm looking at right now in Sioux City, Iowa, to get either a storefront or a warehouse set up. Because if I do storefront, I'd be the only one in Sioux City, Iowa for a reptile store. And the plus, I'll
Nice.
also sell feeders and feeder mice and rats. I breed my own feeder mice and rats, and then we will be my wife wants to get in breeding hedgehogs too, and we'll have those little guys too. And but at the storefront, what would you call it? Like our mascot will be a pair of full grown adult black throat monitors,
Oh.
and I'll be
Nice.
breeding those. So-
The brick and mortar thing is a cool idea. I think I can't speak for these guys, but I'm pretty sure they're on the same wavelength with me. But I think it'd be really fun to be able to do that. We're not in an area where you can
Mhm.
feasibly do that. There just
Yeah.
isn't enough population here.
Yeah.
So everything's just online. But brick and mortar deal would be kind of neat. Hopefully that goes good for you.
Yeah, it's something that's a nice crossover avenue. You talked about hedgehogs, right? Well,
Yep.
people come in because they're not cute fuzzies, but they are
No.
cute, and it's
Yeah.
that crossover
Yep.
to exotics that we kind of
Yep.
need to
Yep.
promote. Like, hey,
Yeah.
if you like this odd stuff, you'd probably also like a ball python, or you'd like a
That's
gecko.
why I'm like, why my name is Supernatural Reptiles. And
Yeah.
like my dad was like, why don't you do Supernatural Exotics? And I'm like, well, as a business side, you see as a business side and the whole shaboodle. That's my thing. I say shaboodle for everything.
It's okay.
But for something like that, like you gotta think too. When somebody thinks when some rando Joe on the street sees the store and says supernatural exotics, they're gonna think sometimes venomous reptiles,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
that'll bite you, stuff that'll kill you. And same thing,
Yeah.
like my insurance guy said to me, he's like, is it exotics? I'm like, no, supernatural reptiles. He's like, oh, okay, so I can insure you. I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, I go like I was like, Progressive is very particular with their stuff, so
Wow.
especially anybody, and I recommend it for even if you're just starting out small time. Some guys don't like taking out LLCs because you have to meet the quarterly stuff too.
Yeah.
I recommend is try to find somebody who can who's a good agent who can work with you in your business, because then you know what I mean. Not everybody will, because reptiles, the industry is so particular for certain people. And people don't think that's a big industry when it actually is. Just like cattle, too. So,
and could be a lot bigger. I mean, that's something literally on this channel we talk about all the time. Is like reptiles could be so much bigger than it is. It's a very small market share.
Yeah, it is.
And to get people like comfortable with the idea that, hey, this is a legitimate pet that people can enjoy and not just have in a cage somewhere in a corner. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's all about perception.
It is. It really is. But if our numbers go up, it only does all of us good.
Yeah, it does.
From the gecko guys to the snake guys to the lizard guy, everybody benefits.
Or to the guys who do kind of everything too.
Yeah. Well, we got one right below us here. Sounds like you got a heck of a lot of variety going on.
Yeah,
so
I try because
awesome.
it's like when people at the expo, when I was at the expo, people kept coming up to me like, "Do you have anything else?" And you're the only freaking leopard gecko guy. I don't see that as much anymore. Oh, the leopard gecko industry is dying. I'm like, you know what that means though? When you have people getting out of the hobby, things go down. When there's only a certain amount of people to get the supply, those are the people that they're going to go to. And then you have the small hobbyist guys who breed low quality animals. I'm trying to get out of breeding in bulk like I was doing and get rid of all my low quality stuff or like middle high stuff and try to stick to a higher quality animals in general, because it's more maintainable. The backlash to get, you know what I mean, the revenue and everything for as full-time job is to do something like that. It's something to help put food on the table and just honestly to continuing putting, you know what I mean, keeping a good impact in the community. Because if you have too much low stuff and you're selling too much low stuff, you could sell stuff like the PetSmart guys, you know what I mean, the big huge corporate guys that freaking make all that money off low quality animals, but their life isn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So their longevity isn't there compared to stuff that some people have. And like stuff
and
like
it does the market no favors either. Let's be honest. I mean, yeah.
And then you have to explain to somebody, hey, why do I see at PetSmart bearded dragons going for $40? Why do I see ball pythons going for $50? Whatever. And I'm like,
I don't think so, Sammy, unless can someone else say the same? I think we're pretty clear, at least on our side, everything seems to be going good. Okay.
I don't know if it's on my side.
Yeah. No,
Maybe.
John at Mission said sounds good, so I think we're good. I appreciate that, guys in the audience, for letting us know. If you
Yeah.
hear something odd or you're seeing something off, not always we can see it on our side, so we'll
Yeah, for
fix it
sure.
if we can.
Let
But,
us know for sure.
So you
Just
mentioned Sioux City,
go ahead.
and
Yeah,
that was something we hadn't touched on at all. You're located pretty much central Iowa, right?
yeah. I'm in a small town called Polina, Iowa. I actually, it's funny because I coon hunt too. I run hounds. I coon hunt and do all that type of stuff. Run bear, run lion out west and stuff like that too with hounds. And everybody's like, how can you have hounds, reptiles, and then freaking have kids and everything like that? And I'm just like, well, I always want to keep something consistently going because that's
Right.
how I am, and
Yeah,
it's just the way I am. So because
staying busy.
Stay
everybody's
busy.
like, yep.
Yeah. So speaking of the kids and the wife, any help from them with the reptiles at all, or do they have
Yeah,
any
my wife
interest? Or
helps a lot. My
does she?
son is he's 4, but yeah, he'll be 4 years old. I say he's 4. He'll hold that female, that the big super giant girl. She'll
Yeah.
just sit in his hand. He'll be like, he'll hold it. He'll be like, wow, gecko snake. He calls them gecko snake. So
Cool.
it's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
boy, I love running bear and oh shoot, that's funny. Now I haven't seen a lot of guys that really in the reptile industry really run hounds too. So appreciate
Yeah.
it.
We got some guys
Yeah,
right out by me
absolutely.
that do that. They bear hunt with the hounds too.
Yep. It's
Always out here training them, and yeah.
I try to
Cool.
run 20 miles with my dogs. Have them run 20 to 30 miles like every other day because that's mountain time. So
Yeah. What
especially
kind
here,
of what kind of hounds,
uh,
Josh?
American English,
Okay.
Okay.
American English, and then that's my main breed I work with, and then crossbred
Okay.
stuff so like
Yeah.
black and tan to English or blue tick to uh,
Before I'm old and
Cougar hunt
decrepit.
out west.
that is funny.
Right.
It
That
is it's definitely a blast, honestly. So it's
Yeah.
not
that
all
would be
about the
wild.
kill. It's not all about the kill. It's about honestly learning the dog and seeing them tree the game and just letting them tree it and take pictures.
Yeah.
How
I
many
love.
reptile people run hounds?
Right?
Seeing
A
that
bunch, apparently. Yep.
that's
Lot of
funny.
the
That's wild. I'll have
lot of
some
the
pups
overlap.
too. This plot. Yep, plots are nice dogs. But yeah, I have pups on the way too. They're PKC and PKC Super Steak and UKC pups. So
Nice.
Nice.
Keeps a teeing walker.
Green Walker.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. I had
So
a
that
couple.
that was going to be my next question. Being we're talking on the hounds and all the hunting stuff, you don't do that side of it, right? You don't
No,
really breed to resale on
no,
dogs.
no, no. I'm like for that. Like I have my own kennel, Supernatural Kennels too.
Okay.
And that's funny because I took that. It used to be Red River Rum Kennels, and I took it and was like, you know what? Supernatural Reptiles, Supernatural Kennels for the hound side. And my goal is producing for that side um, dogs that can go, oh my God, that's my wife.
Hi, Caitlin.
Uh, that's
That's
awesome.
my son.
Yep. Hi,
But,
Dad.
yeah, no, it's, I don't know, I try to have produce multi-purpose dogs that can actually do anything what anybody wants. So, okay.
Okay.
Why does that Red River Rum Kennels? Why does that sound so familiar to me?
We have a Red River rum lumber and stuff like that up
Okay.
here.
Is
That's a
there?
big
Okay.
chain of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, that sounds familiar.
How many
Yeah, it
people
did to me
hounds
too.
for reptile? That's funny.
It's
I didn't
crazy.
think that was gonna pop up. Like people would be like, "Hey, I run hounds. I run hounds too." Like
Yeah, no,
interesting.
Right?
it's yeah. We get off on some tangents here, and it's amazing. There's a lot of people in our chat, a lot of people that show up to the show with a lot of different interests and a lot of
Different
different
walks
things.
of
So,
life. Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah, that's definitely something cool.
yeah.
Um,
A lot of people into the hunting. I'll tell you, I would recommend for anybody looking to do something a little bit different is get up to the UP. So we did a hunt. Well, it's been years now, but we did a hog hunt for the Russian boars up there. And if you
Yeah.
haven't done anything like that, it's pretty awesome. And it's not,
Wait,
you know, it's
like up in
you,
the like UP of like Michigan.
Michigan. Yep.
Like there's
Yep.
there's hogs up there.
Yeah. Yeah. They're, you know, they bring them in. So, I mean, you're hunting on acres that's
Oh,
completely
okay,
enclosed.
okay.
Yeah. They don't
Yeah,
want
down
them
in Georgia,
running
down in
everywhere. But
down in Georgia, freaking went hog hunting too. That was back in 2017 when I right when I left for the Marine Corps. So
yeah.
it was funny
Yeah.
because went down there, did it with literally grabbed the hog, flipped him over. The bulldog was grabbing them, and then hounds were behind them. This guy had a stag hound cross between a bull, like a bull mastiff, and it looked weird. You know, like a Irish wolfhound, big like that, but
Yeah.
with a big freaking bull mastiff head.
That
It was
is
so
weird.
but boom, grabbed the hog, flipped him, like I grabbed the back of the legs, flipped him over, and then took a knife and boom. Just that's how they
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you'll do that with these. These
No,
are the
these are-
big,
these are-
hairy Russian boar that
Yeah,
are like the
Texas,
cold
down in
weather.
Texas type of stuff. That's
Yeah.
something
Oh, they're
you should
massive.
still- yeah.
Yeah.
No.
500-600 pounds.
600
you know?
pounds. Yeah.
Yep.
They're big ones.
Big boar. But do it midwinter when the snow's like, up to here
Yep.
and
Yeah.
you can't see where they are. You just see the snow flying. That's
That's
creepy,
funny.
man.
That's funny.
Super
That's
creepy.
insane that they do that in the UP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty
Wild.
neat deal.
That's nuts.
Dad, Tim in the chat took us on that adventure. All paid for and everything. Couldn't beat that. But it was probably the most fun I've ever had hunting. Totally unique experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Totally different.
Yep, for sure. So, touch a little bit on military. So you were Marines for how
Yes.
many years?
About 3 years, 7 months.
Okay. And you said you took a break, so you had been into reptiles, kind of different things from the time you were 8 up until that point, and so
Yep.
you got rid of everything. I mean, you just
Yep.
you got rid of all the animals, all the racks.
I got rid of majority, like all the animals, all the racks. I kept some animals, but not, you know what I mean? Not like I kept them enough to be able to have them in like tanks and stuff.
Sure.
And then I got rid of, and then because I thought I was going to do it for 20 years, and then I ended up getting injured. So,
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you expected to be in the service for quite a bit longer, and then when you did get out, how long was it before you were like, I gotta get back into the reptile gang, or was it kind of a gradual thing?
2021 is when I picked up some leopard geckos again. I was like, hey, I need leopard geckos. I need something. And me and my wife, I think we got them right before my first son, like right when we got, like right after, I think right after we were married or something like that. But yeah, we got them. And then and I don't know. They were just, I think they're just the local pet store ones, because I was like, oh, I didn't think about like the morph market going back breeding and stuff like that. I was like, oh, well. And then I was like, do I get back into it? And then I gave those ones away because I didn't know the genetics. I just knew their pet store quality. And I was like, okay, I gave them away for some friends and got all of the other stuff too.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, this is new. I never really thought of it, you know what I mean, of reptiles. And I was like, hey, something that I just love doing.
Yeah. And so about the time you went into the service, then morph market really wasn't a big thing at that point.
No,
right?
it wasn't.
Yeah. So
Wasn't it
So how-
2017 when morph market became really big?
yeah.
I think it was even after that
20
before
20
it really caught on, like
Yeah.
18, 19, somewhere in there.
No, I do not have spotted geckos. I thought about getting them, but I just don't have the space right now until I have a warehouse to really expand more.
Got Jeff over there at GTL. Good to see you, Jeff. Thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, so if we could, before, and we are getting close to hot seat time. I don't know if you're prepped for that or not, but Jamie, who you mostly have talked to
Yep.
because of the gecko link, she puts you in the hot seat and she just fires questions at you.
Okay.
You don't have a lot of time. You just got to kind of answer them as they come at you. You'll be fine. But let's talk a little bit about like your specific goals and project, I guess, endeavors. And let's just start with the leopard geckos since that's where we are. But
Okay.
what are the project and lines that you really enjoy in the leopards?
Honestly, for me, is I like the super giant stuff. I do like that, but it's not as like there is people in the industry that really like it. There's people that don't like it because they say it's a like was a co-dominant trait a little bit, something like that. And then, but I kind of really like the very intense dark tangerines, and then crossing over to like the lava projects, crossing to the Black Knights. And then plus I do work with Afghanicus, Turkmenicus, Montanus, Fasciolatus, um, uh, Hardwicii. I'm gonna be doing something unique with that Hardwicii stuff because that's a plan of mine. It's gonna be something unique. I'm not gonna really share it on here because I'd rather
It's okay.
rather the research get done first before I get blasted by everybody in the community because it's kind of like the guys who did the Leachianuses cross what not Leachianuses Chihuahuas or whatever cross to the hybrid thing that's going around now that's people don't do it, and I feel like people are gonna get kind of a little bit salty because I'm gonna be doing something unique with the Hardwicii to try, and they are a very hard subspecies to produce because I'm trying to think they're for some reasons females don't have the greatest fertility rate, and I don't think that subspecies actually does, if I remember on top of my head, produce males very well either. So
Okay. So super female heavy, almost like a
yeah,
sex linked
yeah,
species.
kind of species, which is weird. Kind of like a morning geckos, and morning geckos like they clone themselves. So
And then
Gotcha.
they're not real great with the fertility on top of it. So you're getting a bunch more females that aren't great on fertility, which makes it pretty rough for sure.
yeah, like you don't really hear that. And same thing, ball python industry or really any other snakes species. You don't really hear subspecies, and unless what the boas. I know the boas they have subspecies for the was it Colombian red tail stuff.
Yep, red tails and some of the other
Beardeds have
goofy.
subspecies too and stuff like that, but you don't really hear much of ball. I don't even think there's not one for ball pythons, is there? For
I don't believe so. No,
And
not direct.
yeah, and in the wild they was it? I'm trying to think. Wasn't it Brian Barczyk that freaking that went out west, went out in the boonies, out in freaking Africa or something like that, or was that a different guy? That went to go see if they actually live in trees when actually ball pythons live in holes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there's
I
been
don't
a
know who that
lot
was.
of trips.
Yeah,
A lot of trips over
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Yep.
Brian
A lot
probably
of
went.
different guys.
Dave goes. Actually, Green Room. Bob Bledsoe's been out. He's been to quite a few places now, but
Okay.
him and Dave go together to places.
And fair warning, I'm very bad with last names, so
No, that's all
I'm better
good.
with like people's faces. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, John from Mission says it was Dave Kaufman. So
okay.
Kaufman did the recent one, yeah, but there were guys years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Breeders'
Yeah,
Circle
that's
went
why I
over
thought it
there.
was Dave. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he has a lot of ball python stuff. I know, doesn't he? Still or no?
Not as much. I mean, he keeps his own collection. I think he works a little bit with pieds. I don't think he really aggressively breeds, if you want to say
Yeah.
it that way. But
Yeah.
he kind of just stays active in the
Yeah.
community, but not
Yep.
not overly heavy into it for sure. He's more on the social media and production stuff now
Okay.
at this point.
That makes sense.
Yeah. God, where the heck were we going? Oh, hot seat. That's where we were headed. Are you ready for hot seat? Because I always try to time this right around the 50-minute mark. It leaves us a little time afterwards to still talk about the stuff that happened in the
Okay.
hot seat, if you survived it or not.
Yep.
Looks like you're already plenty warm, but it's about to get worse. So, are you all set for that on your side, Martin?
Oh yes, I'm reading off what some people are saying.
They're
I'm
just
like, what?
jabbering away out there.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Like, because somebody said like Calibra, in the more of the Calibra stuff. Not really as much. It's just not
I think
really
they're.
as much. It's just
I think they're
something
talking
that.
about. I think they're talking about Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dave Kaufman. Yeah, I think he switched
Yeah.
to colubrids now.
okay.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're nice. Small snakes. You don't have to worry about. You know what I mean? Super big like boas and stuff. I
Right.
love a big snake though. I think what in here you can't even have. I think Iowa you can't even have reticulated
Really?
pythons.
That's so
I
weird
don't
to me.
know.
Or is it
any
Burmese? I
any
don't know.
state that
Not sure.
it snows in the winter, I have no idea why they have any kind of legislation
No.
against any kind of snake.
Yeah.
Well, maybe venomous stuff, but
Yeah, just for safety's
Weird to
sake
me.
on the venomous, but yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise it's a little silly when it freezes over winter. But all right, we've avoided this long enough. I know you're plenty warm, but you're going in the hot seat one way or the other, Martin. I know Jamie's
Yeah.
excited for it. The audience always loves this portion too, so
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my notes up because before
here we
you
go.
won't need notes.
I have notes written down for like because especially working with other species and stuff, you have to have everything. too.
Trust me, those notes are not going to do you any
Nope.
good.
They're not going to tell you if you like pizza or a cheeseburger better.
No.
So here we go, guys.
Here we
It
go.
is hot seat time. Good luck over there, Martin. We'll be right back with you, man.
Okay.
It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. Ha ha ha. Let's go.
Hey,
Got some questions for you. Are you ready for this?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Fishing by the lake or hiking in the mountains?
Fishing,
Jigsaw puzzle or Rubik's Cube?
jigsaw puzzle,
Would you rather attend a live concert or watch a sports game live?
sports game live,
What's your sport of choice?
football,
Okay. Who's your team?
Cincinnati Bengals,
All right. What's your emergency stress relief snack?
anything that I can grab my hands on that's edible.
Yeah. You don't it's not like chocolate or salt or sour. Or...
Okay, I got one. My wife always tells me because like my kids are now lemon salt. I don't know why. It's just lemon and salt. That's honestly my preferred snack, which is
Huh.
weird. I don't know.
That is a little odd, but okay, that's cool. It's an emergency stress relief snack. That's
Yep.
anything goes.
Yep.
Ask permission or beg forgiveness.
Is there one between?
Maybe.
I'd say ask permission.
Yeah. Is that only because your wife is watching?
No, just ask permission.
Okay. Would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel,
What's more appealing to you, grilling steak or ordering pizza?
steak,
Travel for adventure or relaxation?
both.
Yeah. A little bit of busy time, little bit of downtime.
Yep.
Perfect. Would you rather watch a movie at home or go to the cinema?
At home,
Yeah. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
to bring to to visit the people that are no longer with us.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yep.
Texting or calling?
Calling,
Would you rather meet Bigfoot or an alien?
alien,
Would you rather dive with sharks in South Africa or swim with the dolphins in the Bahamas?
dive with sharks.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know something. I don't know something about feeling almost there of you're gonna die, but you're alive at the same time,
Oh
and
man.
just
Yeah.
or you smack
Comes
them on the
out with
nose, punch them
no
on the nose.
man. That's scary.
Yeah.
What is something you're passionate about that not many people know?
Honestly, I guess God, that's a hard one. Shoot. So I guess some people with the reptiles, honestly, because that's one thing I'm very passionate about, and just it's something part of me inside, and just I guess that's
Yeah.
the one thing, and then second is Marine Corps too, and very
Yeah.
passionate about. So
Absolutely.
love being a dad though. That's one thing. My one thing I really love is seeing
Yeah.
my son and daughter just being able to grab hold of something like the reptiles is one thing I love about because something different and it's not a dog or a cat. It's something that
Absolutely.
they hold
Yeah.
that's you know what I mean exotic
Yeah.
and then we'll learn about too because it's knowledge because a lot of these reptiles were here way before us, so
Absolutely.
thousands
Yeah.
of years. So
Yeah. And enjoy your kids while they're little because before you know it, they're going to be grown up and moved out of the house.
yeah, that's one thing.
Uh-huh. Roller coasters or bumper cars?
Roller coasters
Okay. Do you like to go upside down on them or no?
depends if I have enough liquor in me or
Okay.
if I need.
Oh man, too much liquor is bad for the people behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
Ice cream cone or ice cream in a bowl?
Ice cream cone then because you don't got to deal with the mess.
Yep. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you pick?
Rick and Morty, honestly.
Yeah. I think somebody said that before. Yeah.
I think yeah, I just realized what I said. I was like, wait, did I say ice cream cone because it doesn't cause a mess? It does cause a mess.
Yeah. Kinda. Depends how fast you're licking
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Or just biting it the whole time.
Right? What's the best advice you could give to a new breeder coming into the hobby?
Be prepared to be a sponge. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to be an expert. There's always something new. Like me getting back into the hobby after being out for I think what a couple 5-6 years ish. I don't can't
Yeah.
think of the top of my head, but
It's too hot
it's
in
like
here.
the whole like new genetics, new
Right.
morph, like
It's
there it's not
constantly
it's gonna
changing.
be mind blowing, it's gonna be overwhelming at first, but as long as you take notes and really listen to everybody and try to have a good people who are around you that can help you or have
Yeah.
some like as long as good people who have a lot of knowledge on them who are positive, that's the number one thing I'd say for getting
Yeah.
back.
Surround yourself
Yep,
with good mentors. Yeah.
yep.
That's
Because if you
that's
don't,
great advice. Yeah.
yeah, because if you don't, there's some people out there that don't work well with others and they will crush you in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Get
And if you
discouraged really quick.
don't mess with things that aren't a smart way to mess like certain genetics, make sure you always watch your genetics because if you don't, that's
Right.
also how your name can get destroyed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Who has supported you from the beginning of your breeding venture?
My mom,
Yeah,
my mom, she's
that's awesome.
she's always been she's one who is so is my mom and then my grandma Mary. She got me my first leopard gecko and then that's where it just all sent off
Plummeted
to
from there.
yep.
That's awesome. Very cool. Are they still around and supporting you to
Yeah,
this
my
day?
mom is. My
Yeah.
grandma Mary passed away when I was 16. So,
Okay. Okay.
yep.
The last question for you in the hot seat. I know you're burning up. What do you want to be known for?
Having the most well quality, affordable priced reptiles that like the best quality, affordable price reptiles in the industry, and that
Yeah.
people can always know that they come from supernatural reptiles and
Yeah.
we having the here at Supernatural Reptiles having #1 customer service in the industry. That's what I strive for. That's what, like, when I have employees, I'm going to tell them that, like, our
Mm-hmm.
my reps. That's what my employees will be called, is reps. So they're gonna. That's one thing I want to strive for and always stick to is having #1 customer service for
Absolutely.
anybody. So if somebody wants to call me at 10 at night, talk about reptiles, I'll do it. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's why I always
Yeah.
tell my customers, if you have any questions, you can always text me, call me. You have my number on Morph Market too. So,
Yeah.
or
Absolutely.
TikTok and all the other platforms too. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I foresee your business growing and doing really well. So that's awesome. I'm
appreciate
excited
it.
for you. I'm excited to watch you grow. So you survived the hot seat. We'll get out of this heat. Thank you, everybody that's tuned into the chat. And don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe.
So that previously was the most difficult of the portion of the show for people. You couldn't prep for it. It was odd. You're already warm, and we put flames under you.
Hold
But I'm about to make things worse because we talked a little bit about this before the show, and I really want to know your thoughts on the Israel-Iran conflict right now.
That's how
No,
hot
I'm not going to talk about that.
88 degrees.
Holy dude.
And and my racks are set at 91 right now.
Yeah.
And I check the animals all the time, and they're fine. And I know freaking the snakes and stuff. Like my one friend said, you might not even have to freaking if it stays at above 80. Like, you know what I mean. Usually ball pythons and snakes stay a little bit higher than 91. They're like, if it stays about 88, like out in the Philippines, you might like how they do it, because that's usually what temp they always deal with. It's like you might be able
Right.
to do ambient stuff. So
Yeah.
They can. A lot of areas do ambient stuff.
it's
So
really
Might be a little warm for your breeding though on the ball python.
Yeah,
Males
that's
don't like that high heat.
no, and that's why I try to have I have a new AC I'm gonna be getting for to kind of it's gonna control the room better for here, but like downstairs I might just honestly put them all like downstairs, because downstairs it's cooler, and I'm just
Right.
worried about if it gets cold. Like they could get, you know what I mean. For snakes in general, they'll get if it gets too cold, they'll get ammonia. So,
Yeah.
and don't want to
Yep.
have that happen. And then you hear the crackling sound, breathing, and stuff like that, and then they die.
Yeah, they can get respiratory stuff pretty easy. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely don't go over 90 on your ball pythons. I mean,
No.
for males, you probably want to shoot for like 86,
86,
you know,
yeah.
just to save their sperm and stuff
Yep.
from overheat.
Because it's funny, because all the old the very very old books that were wrote in like 20 years ago, they say if you ever look back on them, like I have a lot of the old stuff, and I just look back on it to look at, and it's funny. And I'm like, it says, oh yeah, ball pythons on 91 or 97 or whatever. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've
that's
learned
way
a
too
lot
long.
over the years. The breeders have really kind of taken this whole thing
They used to breed
to a
it
little more scientific level, you know.
Yeah, they used to breed freaking was it females under was it like almost 1,000 grams ball pythons back in the day, and then
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah, that's pretty
leopard
little.
geckos, they
Yep.
used to do 30 grams, 35 grams for
Yeah.
breeding, and that's
We've
nuts.
we've had a couple that not I don't know how to put this. We didn't breed them, but we have them, and they were bred, and they were small like that, and they don't do as well. It takes them when you breed them that small. It takes them a couple years to even catch up. Even with the constant feeding, it really takes a toll on them when they're that small. I would not recommend it myself. But
I'm trying to figure out who that is, because like Uncle Mark. Wait, is this Marcellus on here?
I don't
I
know,
think
man.
he said it was Jackson.
Jackson. Oh,
Your nephew Jackson, maybe?
okay, is on here. That's funny. I didn't think like some family was gonna watch.
Heck yeah. Get all kinds of faces through.
He wants
fun.
to see the big geckos.
The big one. Shoot. I'm just show my girl, because freaking she's honestly the calmest one. I had a nice male, super giant male, who was from Calico geckos who got really old.
That beer looks good.
She's just so content, man.
That
She's
is a
honestly, there was like I think over 100 people held her at the expo, and somebody ended up holding one of the geckos, and I kind of get iffy when people hold them, and
Yeah.
dropped the gecko, jumped out, and it was a younger male, and his claw got hooked, like his nail got hooked, and I think the girl pulled him,
Yeah.
and
oh no.
he ripped one nail off, but he healed quick because leopard geckos really do heal fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a weird. I know that's a genetic thing. That's not.
Oh, a little whiptail.
Like a
Yeah.
hook tail.
Yep, hook-tailed kind of.
Kind
I
of
know
like
some breeders don't breed if geckos that are, you know what I mean, that have that type of stuff too. Some breeders are particular, but I
yeah,
haven't seen that in any of my stuff.
the
And then
offspring.
one of my bell snow females, she she does a little circle, but she is not Enigma. She does not have all of her babies don't have any problems with neurological stuff. I think when she was younger, she got dropped by the
Yeah.
previous person I got her from, and I was like, well, I don't know. And then I seen all of her babies and stuff, and I crossed her over to a lot of subspecies stuff like Turkmenicus, Afghanicus. Um, like I crossed her, yeah, it was Afghanicus and Turkmenicus males I crossed her to, and none of those babies really had any problems. So I
Yeah.
think maybe
Nice.
that's why, because I crossed her two subspecies, and
Yeah.
maybe that
Could
helped a
be.
little bit. But I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. So I think you might. I think you might have one baby that might be from her that was crossed to a normal Euphorius line.
Oh, Max.
I think,
The one of the first ones I bought from you.
yeah, I think she got paired up with her first time.
He's huge. He's like 70 grams. I actually sold him because I
Okay.
decided not to work with the Bell
Bell stuff.
line.
There's
Yeah.
not. It's not as popular, really. I feel like anymore. Really,
Yeah.
I see some guys over in like I think Philippines that work with like very dark, extreme radars, like tangerine stuff. So
Yeah.
Gotcha. Been trying to
Been
figure
try-
out if it's a genetic defect with the tail or if it's just the way they lay eggs. Because I had one gecko had a kink in its tail, but 8 of its siblings did not.
Right.
So maybe not a genetic thing. Maybe how
no,
they are
yeah,
feeding when they're young. Maybe a
or
growth
maybe
thing.
how
Or
when they're in the egg too, when they're developing.
Right.
Yeah.
not being genetic. Okay.
Interesting.
Laying
Yeah,
in the egg.
yeah, and
Okay.
also it depends on the humidity too in the incubators. And I use hold on, let me think. I don't use 8 ounce. I don't use 8 ounce deli cups anymore. I use the little I think 3 to 5 super giant singular morph. It's kind of in a little bit like yes and no. It's like still controversial, like genetics. I would say because Ron
Whether
Tremper
it's
was the
just
first
a
one. Yeah, Ron Tremper was the first one who came out with I think the God, maybe the Godzilla, or I know he had suit. I think he was the first one who came out with the super giants. If I can think on top of my head.
so
So
maybe just like a polymorph from a giant that it actually got bigger yet.
I
Kind of a
guess he bred like the biggest gecko he had to a bigger gecko and just you know what I mean, super
Yeah.
yeah.
giant. Because
How
giants,
many grams is that girl that you have there?
I actually have the. I do recommend.
We have the
Right.
same one. Yeah.
Yep, from
Yep.
Reptile Basics. That's all my racks is Reptile Basics. I honestly they're cheaper, they're more efficient to me. I've seen animal plastics. I've worked with all that. I've had animal plastic stuff. I worked with other stuff too, and I just I like Reptile Basics. It just
They've got
kind
a lot
of
of nice stuff.
yeah,
Good price. Yep.
yeah. And then you don't have to worry about. You can get the racks and the tubs altogether, and he ships really fast too. So if you ever looking to get new racks or something like that, go through Reptile Basics, decent priced. Like think what for to fit 12, 11 quart tubs. I think it's what like maybe 400, $500. But if you spend though $100, you know what I mean, on tubs, that's he always does free shipping over $100. So you don't got to worry about the shipping costs. Like you can end up spending $2,000 for new racks and stuff, and that's for 11 quart stuff. That's 72 tubs for six racks, 72.
Yeah.
And you can, you know what I mean? You can spend that much money and you're not having to worry about like animal plastics. Animal plastics. They charge what, like $300 for shipping or something like that. And I don't.
Yeah.
Shipping can kill you for sure.
Yeah, especially in this industry too. And this industry, I'm probably the only one who does free shipping, no matter what the price I have it set. So all my animals are priced dead set. I ship to your front door. I ship anywhere United States. I ship internationally, but with the tariffs, it's kind of iffy because I also was going to get some imports in from the Philippines for very strong tangerine lines and some of the Korean Black Knight stuff from Korea, South Korea, I think. Yeah, it's from.
Yeah.
And they wanted double.
Don't get that North Korean stuff. Look out for those.
No, you don't even know if there is one. Shoot, they don't.
No,
they
there
don't even have internet either. I don't think. Right? But,
I was gonna touch on the international thing too, because I thought that was kind of interesting. So you ship to 30. Correct me if I'm wrong. 34 countries.
yes, I will ship to 34 countries.
Okay, and how many have you shipped to out of 34?
I've shipped. Was it last year? I think it was one to West Africa, like couple to West Africa. I haven't really had much people from Germany, like from Hamburg stuff, like really much people from Germany. I think it's mostly been West Africa, Canada, because I think South Africa and Canada. And then I think that's more, honestly, probably the market too, maybe, because I haven't had nobody from like, you know what I mean, the Pacific to really contact me and be like, hey, I want some.
Yeah.
But I recommend if you are from not United States and you're buying geckos, buy in bulk. Don't just buy one or two.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The shipping will kill you otherwise.
Yeah, you have the risk of
Yeah.
fatality, like, you know what I mean, fatality sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
And
that's kind of why I wanted to touch on it. So with the Africa stuff, no issue with the shipping? Everybody showed up in good shape, and
the guy just said he received them, didn't even tell me.
okay.
And that's also sucks. That really sucks too, because some like, you know what I mean, some customers aren't the greatest at conversating back. They just want to get their animal and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I try to always educate my customers. Like I had somebody new on my Morph market today message me about one of the males, proven breeder males that I have. He's a daddy to, I think, 10 of the eggs that are in the incubator, 10 eggs in the incubator right now. And I was like, well, he needs to go. I got him to be a proven breeder. So there you go. That's good for somebody else. So I try to, a lot of guys don't like getting rid of their proven breeders.
Hmm.
And then I think it was Dex, these geckos or whatever. I'm trying to think his name.
D's Gax. Yep.
yeah.
I have a couple of his raptors too, to added female raptors I added to my collection because I was like, I know some people like raptors.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's kind of the international stuff is a hit or miss too. I feel like I want to go.
I know what you're saying. The feedback's kind of important. We're the same way. Like when we ship something out, they're not all like our pets, right? They're animals that we've raised, but you want to know that they showed up. You care about the animals. You want to know they showed up and everything was good. And we've been really fortunate. We've had a few people that just don't. It's one word answers when you're back and forth on the text, but we've been really fortunate. We've had videos and lots of pictures and everything, and people are always, breeders, pet people, doesn't matter. They're always, hey, showed up, looks great.
And it sucks though, because you can't even freaking get like was it mice and rats, you can't get them shipped to you either. And that's one thing in the reptile industry. We need to figure out something for breeders who, like, you know what I mean, who are very far away, who are an hour from the local, you know what I mean, like feeder store, like for like pet stores that sell frozen mice, frozen rats, just anything. We need something that's completely different.
Yeah.
100% Jordan, agree. I mean, we really poke and prod. I mean, it's not just a, hey, did they arrive? It's like, hey, did she ride okay? Does she look good? Is she acting right out of the box? I mean, we really want to know how that process went and that they're doing okay, at least by initial inspection. And you get a mixed bag of, some people will go into full detail. Others are like, yep, she looks good, thanks. And you don't hear from them again. And that's fine. I get that.
Hey, some Caitlin lady is asking for a friend.
Right, yep.
What geckos would you recommend for a 13-year-old for his first gecko? Honestly, leopard gecko is probably the best one, I would say, for a starter, because they're literally, if you think about it, they're the puppy dog of the gecko industry. And they're honestly like let me pull her out again. like honestly,
this girl's like, okay, nice. We're back out.
Yeah.
They handle nice. That's the one thing. They handle nice. They just don't, I don't know, they're not so hard to maintain. You get the mealworms, calcium, vitamins, and they're just a nice animal. And I see why some people are getting out of the industry, because there's so many of them flooded, because, you know, in pet stores, all pet stores have them. The pet store today, my wife was walking through, she didn't see any leopard geckos because they're mostly bird people. And I'm like, that's one thing too. Like, you don't, like, some places you see a lot of leopard geckos, some places you don't. Sorry. GTL geckos.
No, you're good. Yep.
No, I ship in December too. I do ship in December. Like, I see
to a warm climate, right? Like, it's going somewhere warm.
Oh no, if it's in the Midwest, like 5 hours away, I'll try to meet somebody. But even if it's like Geeky Gecko Creations over there, Frank over there, he still ships in, like, people in Alaska, stuff like that. It's just what heat packs and everything like that. You got to think of heat packs, because heat packs can kill your animals. So the bigger the box, the safer it is to, you know what I mean, ship them in the winter. Do a little bit bigger box with a little bit heat packs, like the 72-hour one, and then do a little bit, you know what I mean, a little bit of the cold packs too sometimes.
Yep. Right. And in case Caitlin needed any more convincing, look at the smile on this little gecko. I mean, look at the smile on this thing. Like, how can you not want that for a kid? They're so cute. They're permanently smiling.
And then, like, plus with the radar, and was it the eclipse in the leopard gecko kind of gives off that little, almost like a pied for her nose.
Yeah, kind of a the split white nose.
You have pied stuff for leopard geckos too. So if you want to work with, like, pied stuff, or just, like, have something cool, it's not going to be cheap though for anything like that, particularly.
Right.
Yeah, the phase packs are a solution for sure.
Yep, I definitely did the same thing, Jordan. It was going down to Oklahoma City. It wasn't going to get extremely hot, but I'm taking the 70-degree phase pack, and it's going with this snake regardless. You know, if it sits in a van,
throw one in, because you never know if there's AC going, bunch of, like, 6-7 holes in the freaking box.
Yep.
About the size.
Absolutely.
Like that big. Panda line.
Yeah. Do you put them into deli cups when you ship? Deli cup inside a box?
Yes.
Okay. And we've gotten snakes the same way, and it seems like it really is kind of a nice way to pack them, provided the deli cup's the right size for them. I think that's probably important. But.
And also depends what type of deli cups too you have. Like, you can't just ship them in any deli cup too, which is all my deli cups I get from Webstront. Oh, is it Webstront? I think restaurant supply or
Yep.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep. Webstront. Yep.
Yep. And then I buy like I think I bought like 5,000. So like 5,000 deli cups. But
so many.
that's not just, they're not the same I think I did 1,000 8 ounces, 1,000 12 ounces, and then I just went up and up and up.
You know what's amazing though, Martin? It took them 27 seconds to make those.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you paid for them, but just keep that in mind.
I think I paid only like for
They're
all
pretty
of them.
reasonable.
I think I paid for all of them. It's like maybe less than $200 for that many. But you got to think of it. I did it for the long haul because I was
Right.
like, I'm not going to buy anymore till I get down to 500 or like
Right.
a couple hundred freaking deli cups, and they'll last me
Yeah.
for years.
If you can do that bulk thing, you're way better off for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You had mentioned before, and you just kind of briefly mentioned it, but you talked about going down from an 8 ounce to like a 6 or a 5 or something. Or when you ship, do you try to keep the animal relatively, I don't want to say tight, but relatively compact? Because you really don't
yes
want them
and-
like
yes and
bouncing
no.
around, right?
Like yes and no. Like if it's like a super giant 12 ounce size deli cup, but if it's a younger baby, I try to stick at a 8 ounce. But it's really hard to find 6 ounce deli cups too anymore.
Okay.
You don't really see that as much unless
So you-
somebody knows where to get 6 ounce deli cups.
So you're kind of giving them room to move a little, but you
Move
don't
a little.
want it.
And
You
I
don't
also
want it so they can
spray-
just slide back and forth,
No,
right?
no. And then I also sprayed all of my paper towels when I put them in there. I'll always spray them because then they get
Just
a
a
little
little-
water,
Yeah,
little
okay.
humidity, a good fluctuation of, for temps, because you never know. It could be too dry, especially I shipped some last year too. I shipped like 3 to a guy in Texas, and it was so dry, and it was like, I think it was 95 out during the daytime. And he was a leopard gecko guy too, and a small time hobbyist breeder.
Mhm.
And he was like, you don't put any cold packs or any, you just leave them with no cold packs. You just punch like, penny size,
Good size hole,
more than
yeah.
penny size holes. And I'm like, yeah, I've done that before. I've had better luck with geckos not going to hibernation. I've had better luck with animals not dying from being, getting too cold, and then not getting too hot, where they can actually manage themselves very well in the box.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Gotcha.
and I know some breeders in the industry will hear me say that, and they'll be like, "Dude, you're playing with fire." You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's asking about, you mentioned this earlier in the show, the agonias, the butterfly agonias.
Butterfly agama. Honestly, yeah, you didn't spell it right. No, but butterfly agamas, they're wild caught, so they're hard to get here. And honestly, it's, I don't know. They're fast little. They're like a skink. They're just real fast. But I know a lot of people. I think because they're hard to get, and their majority are wild caught. They tend to better for them be. Yep, I agree.
A little cool than too
Yep.
hot, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hot causes damage that they can live with, but they're damaged.
Yep. Yeah. I've had some come in when it was too hot out, and freaking it was a fatality for animals. And I was like, but the person hooked me up, and they're like, no, I'm sorry. It's my couple time of shipping. I've never, they didn't do it a lot. And I'm like, hey, just let you know, it's okay. It happens.
Right.
Right.
Mariah, good to see you. That's Brave's girlfriend, so appreciate her stopping in too.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot about the different stuff you're keeping.
Mm-hmm.
Can you touch a little bit on the community and who you kind of lean on? Who are your go-to people? Some people that have really just been good standout people, at least in your experience with them.
So from the start out, honestly, was it Garrick over at
Demeyer.
Demario. He
Yeah.
Yep.
he was one back in the day. I had some of his leopard geckos back, like a couple of his leopard geckos, and then Fire and
Looks
Ice
awesome.
Fire and Ice Exotics. Ben and Brenda Howard over there,
Okay.
and yeah, they had
I've
some really nice animals too.
I've
But
heard really
honestly,
good things about Fire and Ice. I mean, good to hear that
yeah,
for sure.
they're. I remember when they first really got going, and I think that was like back in 2017 or something like that.
Martin is going to say GTL.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have anything from UTL. Honestly, I
No.
don't know. But also, if you ever Art Geckos is a really very good guy too.
I
If you ever,
bought a gecko from Art Geckos.
yeah, I bought. I think I bought like 20 this last April from him, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I lose
Some
count.
nice stuff.
So
Yeah, he
nice.
does.
Yeah.
I thought about buying him completely and taking
Oh,
his whole collection over, but I know that's going to take a pretty penny to do because how
right.
many years and his revenue and his whole capita and everything like that, what he's made throughout the years since
Yeah.
It's a
2013.
big brand, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's a
And then
good
immerse
size
that
brand.
into the brand too. And I even told him, I was like, hey man, I'll do, see ya. Appreciate it.
Good to see you,
Like
Jordan.
I told him, I was like, hey, I would honestly put art in supernatural reptiles or something like that, or I don't know, because it does get controversial too when you take somebody else's brand that's been in the industry for a hot
Right.
minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, who's this new guy? Da, da, da.
There's yeah. There's almost no point, to be honest. Other unless unless you're trying to kind of show that you've got the lines.
Yeah.
Other than that, I
Well,
mean,
it's just
people follow
honestly,
everybody so closely
yeah,
that it's like, you know.
yeah. And I like that I have Art Gecko's bloodline in my stuff. I have Gecko Boa stuff in my Leos. I have um, Geeky Gecko Creations in my stuff.
All really good
Yep.
lines. Yeah.
Yep. I try to, and then I have I do have a little couple, like maybe like 4 from BHB stuff, which I know that's a little bit like in the leopard gecko industry, in the leopard gecko guys, it's kind of iffy because that line, you know what I mean? I don't know if you heard much about it. A
Not
lot
the
of
bar
people,
check stuff, no.
yeah,
I assume
like
you mean bar checks lines, yeah.
Barchek, yep, yep. It's just they're more like I don't know. Some people don't like them. Some people do. I know everybody. I haven't had a problem with my stuff. So I think it's because I'm you know what I mean adding blood, mixing different bloods together, and then Gecko etc. I have a lot of his stuff for leopard geckos, and then I have like the what's his name with the Des or D's Gex or
These
whatever.
these
These
gex. Yeah.
Gex, yep.
Yep.
I have his like now I have a couple females from him that you know what I mean add into the blood. I
I
have
think
a
that's
lot.
a big part of it. I mean, you're kind of speaking to
Yeah.
that a little bit by saying how like diverse it is, but I
Yeah,
think that's
it
a
Yeah.
is.
big part to like
Yeah,
cross lines.
crossing things together,
Don't
and
keep
then
stuff going back
yeah,
to each other so
Yeah.
yeah.
much, you know.
And then crossing also crossing. I do have some of Sassobic reptile stuff too in my stuff too.
Nice.
So and
Not
then
familiar.
and freaking I don't. I'm trying to think who else, but I have multiple different variety stuff. I do want to get some geckos from some clown stuff from Kingston geckos because he has some very nice, beautiful stuff.
I love the clown.
Yeah,
And
the
you
clown is
definitely need 1 or 2 from Jeff over at GTL. You got to have a
Yes.
couple of those. So
yeah,
hit him up.
yeah,
Because
definitely will.
honestly, I mean, I say that kind of half joking, but
Yeah,
his animals are
yeah,
beautiful. He's got some
Yeah.
really nice, specifically bred
yeah,
stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
and a great guy besides. But
Awesome.
Getting into the Bengal. He's got some Bengals.
Yep, Bengals. I know that's I'm trying to think who has the Bengals really big with that line. Not suburban gecko. Trying to think what's his name down in San Diego. But if you keep fresh.
yep, agree, Jeff. I
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
even
agree.
when we sell off some pairs, male female pairs or male female. Always take the male female are from separate clutches, man, because
Mhm.
not going to sell somebody a brother
No,
sister and start
no.
off down that
That's
path.
where the Black Knight stuff goes really bad too. Is
Yeah.
Black Knight, and then I think honestly that's one of the main reasons why it's so controversial too with the Black Knight leopard geckos. All my Black Knights, I like to cross into the wild caught stuff, and
Yeah.
it still can be still sold the same price as what you have them. You know what I mean? $1,800 Black Knights, you can still sell them for $1,000.
Hmm.
And I don't know. It's not all about the money too. A lot of people assume the industry is all about the money, and it's not.
No,
The
it's about
Black
the
Knights
animal
are
welfare
gorgeous.
first, you know.
Yep. And then also it's about the quality of feeders, what you feed for animals, like who
Mm.
you get them from. So like my worms. I don't know if you heard Uncle Jim's
Yeah.
worm farm. Check out Uncle Jim's worm farm. Has nice quality mealworms. So if you ever need
Okay.
mealworms in bulk, a little bit on the pricey side, but honestly, you don't have to worry about really him running out as much on worms. And I know he does stuff for fishing. I know he does stuff for birds, everything like that. So seems like a
Nice.
very genuine guy. And haven't got a chance to meet him, but maybe one day meet him or something like that. Hopefully get sponsored by him. So
Very cool.
There you go.
So when you
Keep shouting them
buy
out like that. Yep.
a bag of worms like that, where do you put them? How do you keep them?
fridge. My wife doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
Right in the bag you keep
right
them?
next to the salami.
It's done like that sometimes, especially 120,000 mealworms or like 100,000 worms. But you gotta, if you know what I mean, when you have kids and stuff like that, it's hard to keep up sometimes. You gotta make sure you look at all your worms and all your feeders that they're not spoiling and getting gross.
Yeah.
I do have
Yes.
a lot of it. Yep, I like a lot of that Bengal stuff.
Yeah.
Especially Bengals cross the Black Knights,
Yeah.
lava stuff too, and just very intense tangerines.
So
Yeah.
speaking of geckos, I'm getting some from you on Friday. Do you want to
Yeah.
show those off?
Yeah, I can. Let me grab them.
Oh man, are we going through what we're picking up Friday? We're going to come meet you. It's a little
Yep.
bit of a drive for both of us, but
Yep.
it's going to be fun. So
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. We'll probably have to if we both got time, maybe get something to eat or something. We can all just.
heck yes.
I
I
like
pulled them
tea.
out too. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna pull up a nice since we're on here, nice male Mandarin Inferno Green and Tang Gecko Genetics Het Tremper male.
Nice.
He does kind of have a clown pattern to him, but he's not clown at all. Look at that.
That's so beautiful.
Wow, he's got really nice yellow banding in there.
Yeah, he's
Super
Yeah.
bright.
Oh, he's a jumper.
He's his dad. Hold on. I have his dad. I call his dad Lucifer because his dad is it's some males though when it's breeding season they are just so. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to show a better color. I know some people do not like seeing
There.
geckos held like this too, but I honestly, if you're
That's
experienced,
how I check if they're ovulating or have
Yeah.
eggs.
if you're you see that nice. Hold on. Let me see if you can. It almost goes all around him. I have his mom too. His tail.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Yeah, I have him for sale too, and he's going to be at the price on Morph Market for probably $250, $200. So I don't know. It's just trying to move stuff to get like new blood in and just not have so many of stuff from last year. But
He's a good looking male. Really nice, man.
Yes, I tried to pair him up, but he was I don't know. I think the girl didn't like him much, so I took him out and then threw his brother, which his brother I call Razor, and his brother's actually a really nice male. So
You should name him John if he went in there and the female just said, no
Oh,
thanks.
Jesus. Bye.
Where did I put them? I had them just. Oh, wait, hold on. Had 'em
You
just-
lost to my geckos?
No, I didn't lose your geckos. I just wanted to make sure because I quarantine them too before they go, and then I also give them water and like food and stuff.
Up a little higher. There you
That's one of your males.
I love it.
Look at this clown pattern.
he's so
I have 10 of these still. Ooh, hold on. There's a little bit. See that clown pattern?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
really nice, strong clown.
Yeah, his one of his brothers got sold at the expo too, and freaking there's some people who are like, "Oh, do you have how much clowns do you have?" And I'm like, "I only brought 5 because I didn't know how the Davenport expo would go. It's a hit or miss."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his mom's kind of like that nippy, but I try to get very personal with all my animals. Hold on. And here's your one, but you're gonna her mom is phenomenal too. Her mom almost has one. Her mom was
wow.
mother,
Look at the
Wow, is that
mandarin.
blood?
Oh, that's pretty.
It's a Mandarin Inferno.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it looked almost like that blood Emerald
Mandarin
stuff.
Inferno Het Trumper.
Oh, I'm
She
gonna
was
love
born-
that one.
She was born 8/20/8/24. Look at that.
Super
So-
dark orange.
Yeah, I'm
Really
excited.
pretty.
I think she's ovulating.
Oh,
Does she look
no,
like
no. I can't
It's
see
like
anything.
if she is of late and she's just reaching 11 months, you can, you know what I mean? If you really wanted to, but like
I probably won't pair anything up
Yeah.
till later in the fall now.
Yeah, because it does. Some females, they say when you breed them not past a year, their babies tend to come out smaller. So
Okay.
I don't know if that's 100% true. I honestly, and then here's another female. She's the Mandarin Tremper Inferno Gecko's genetics, and this is should I get her?
Nice carrot tail.
Oh,
Yep.
beautiful carrot. Yep.
Might be able to see the orange dots on the side of her.
Yep, kind of.
Right there.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, she's starting to get a little the chubby. I don't know if you guys much know about that. Like if they
Little
have
calcium deposits.
like it's just the chubbiness, little air pockets on their arms they get
Yeah.
from eating too much. And I literally just fill all my geckos worm dishes up. I honestly probably put like maybe 300-400 mealworms in there without realizing it.
Oh my gosh.
But
Mine came out same line as my cat.
at least they get a deal with, you know what I mean? At least they get a variety. I try to give dubia roaches, pinky mice to all breeding females. And, here, let me show. This is your other male.
Oh yeah. I love the stripe on his back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This is from the Halloween
He's
mask?
a Halloween mask.
Yeah, it has that more. His dad's was it like I know he does have the chance of like he does have white and yellow in his line, but he doesn't show really much of the white and yellow because if you look around the, you know, what I mean, where you'd see the white and yellow stuff.
If
too.
there's white and yellow in the line, but they're not visual, can they still pass it?
I honestly haven't really, because back then I didn't really work with a lot of white and yellows, so like I've only worked with white and yellows for the time I've what I've started.
Couple years now, yeah.
So I haven't really seen much of that really.
Okay.
So. And white and yellows get kind of like that very tight face too. Very, very tight face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pinch down around the nose, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. If you ever look at the galaxies, I usually wait till a year and a half for first. Yeah, I see that too. It also depends too, like some, like I said, the weight too. Some, I don't know. It's, to me, I try to wait over a year to breed them. but if it's something that I'm really excited, I'll wait till a year, you know what I mean, a year deadline to try, but I make sure that they're over 55 grams to 60 grams. So
Yeah.
It's the time of night where I get the visit from the het clown, het pain in the ass, het.
The pied
Yeah.
kitty.
He's actually pretty awesome, but he always finds me when we get close to the end of the show. It's like he knows what time
Right.
it is.
Like, time to get off, Dad.
But Martin, you're not familiar probably with how this happens, but Jamie, throughout the whole show, took everything you put out there for information, Jason and I as well, and she developed a trivia question. So this gives a chance for people to get some more Forge coin in their pocket.
Okay.
They can spend that with like 28 different people now. So, Jeff, good to see you, man. Better late than never. Get in on the trivia, Jeff, but good luck. Being you missed all of it. So.
Right.
But
all right.
Yeah, so
we
$10
ready for
to whoever
trivia?
gets the answer. And
Martin, you cannot answer.
Okay.
he can, but he's just going to ruin it for everybody.
You can't
Make a
say
bunch
it
of
out
enemies.
loud. Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Tonight's trivia for $10 Forge coin is
$10.
What year did Martin join the Marine Corps?
Ooh, good question.
Thank you.
I heard this in there, but I think I would guess wrong. I think I know, but I think I would guess wrong.
I know that one.
I'm terrible with that kind of stuff. Like give me a genetic combination you hatched first.
I love it.
Something like
Oh, Greg.
Wow.
Greg is correct.
Man, right off the bat.
Good job,
Nailed it.
Greg.
Okay.
I
Nice
will
job,
add
Greg.
$10 to your account.
Well, we should ask the guest, right? 2017 is correct, isn't it?
2017 to 20, it was like 2017, end of 2017, 2018-ish.
There you
around
go.
that time. So pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
3 years,
All right.
7 months.
He's fanning himself over there. We got to get him out of here before he gets heat stroke, guys.
I know he's melting.
Yes,
Melting.
I'm melting.
80 degrees.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Martin, appreciate you 100%. Going to give you one last shot to give out any kind of shout outs to people. Again, buddies in this that, you know, shout out to all those people that give you a helping hand, or you can call at any time.
Remember, your wife's
Get the heck
watching.
out of here.
Yeah. She's
Shout
been,
out to Caitlin.
to her. She's been a number one help with all of it. And then, like, honestly, to Geeky Gecko Creations for helping me, like, get the collection going, and then to get back into it, Gecko Etc. And then also, like I said, Uncle Jim's worm farm.
Yep.
Right.
Please sponsor me.
Yeah, honestly, like very quality mealworms that I've seen over some other people, and honestly,
Nice.
shout out to my dad who's no longer here anymore, and I was named after him. He honestly was he was also a supporter too, and yeah,
Condolences on that. I
Yeah,
know that's
sorry
pretty
for
fresh
your
yet.
loss.
So,
Yeah.
yep.
so yeah, and then also shout out to Sassabeck Reptiles too for all of his awesome Joker stuff and clowns, and bringing the G project till, you know what I mean, all the majority of the stuff is him, and you know what I mean, Ron Tremper. So those guys were big help in the industry for leopard geckos and stuff. So
Absolutely, man.
Awesome.
For sure. Hang out, Martin. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're actually, this is a pretty good time frame. We're a little longer than normal, but awesome guest, and you got to go with that when you have it. So next week, Jamie, who's on the schedule?
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
No,
I don't
it's
even know. I gotta
Lace
look.
from-
Lace balls.
Yeah, come on.
I
now.
forgot.
So another 15 minutes of Lane.
I've been
guest.
scheduling like crazy.
Yep, she's in the running this year, so it's going to be fun to sit down with Lace. She's a big community person. She's all over the place on the different networks and stuff, involved in some other shows too, but we've never really sat and talked with Lace, so it's going to be fun to catch up with her. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So come back out again, guys, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central. We're doing the same thing, hashing over new people, older people, popular people, Nobody knows them, people, including us, but we're just going to keep doing it, and we have a blast with it. So we appreciate everybody for taking time out of your schedule to sit with us and visit with these people. Appreciate you too, Spring Creek. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, same time, same place, guys. We're just going to keep doing this as well as we can do it. So appreciate everybody out there. 1 day left, and we got a national holiday, guys.
Yay,
Don't blow
4-day
fingers
weekend.
off, right?
No,
Everybody
Keep your
come back
fingers.
with full
Keep your
hands,
fingers.
all
Right.
10 fingers,
Greg's
but
retired.
enjoy the holiday. And Martin, thank you again for your service, sir.
Appreciate it.
This holiday is about you too. So
Thank you.
yeah, enjoy, guys, and thanks again, everybody.
Thanks.
Peace out. We will touch base next week. Martin, hang out. We'll talk with you backstage
Okay.
just for a few. All right,
Okay.
guys.
Bye.
Have a great weekend, man. Yeah, I do this every time, and I'm never ready for the closing. Here's the closing, guys. Peace.